There's a good shot out of Jason Leffler's truck. You see Ron Hornaday. You see the truck dancing around a little bit. Jason peeking to the outside there, but he's going to stay in line behind Ron Hornaday. But if he does that too long, someone's going to pass him on the inside. Watching, Jason really wants to get by Ron Hornaday on the outside.
And hold your breath, Ron Hornaday and Jason Leffler. They are side by side at 187.5 miles an hour. I think they made it by. Let's check in with Ray.
Well, Jerry, on the first pit stop for Jason Leffler today, it was lap 23. They did 4-tire stop, but get this, they went down on the track bar 7 rounds. That's a major adjustment. He said they really needed a lot of help out there because the trucks are jumping around so much. They've done that on a lot of these trucks today. But Leffler did scrub the wall just a little bit before that last caution came out, so he's a little bit worried about the right side of the truck. I think these guys are starting to have a little fun out there.
Mike Skinner, 7 rounds. That's huge.
That's a huge adjustment right there. But, you know, that's when you tell them, we don't need a little bit, we need a ton.
Just keep cranking. All right, Leffler. There's a look at Jason Leffler, the 3-time USAC midget champion, also won the Silver Crown title back in 1998. Ran the Indianapolis 500 in 2000 for Fred Treadway and Roger Penske. Spent 2000 as a Busch Series competitor with Joe Gibbs. 2001 with Chip Ganassi. Here's a pretty good battle. Terry Cook trying to hold off the charge of Brian Rhodes. And one truck slowing down is Steve Portengay out of Sparks, Nevada, and the Roto-Rooter machine. Portengay coming to run full-time this year in the NASCAR Craftsman trucks. We'll check on his situation and give you an update in just a moment.
Brian Rose had visions of getting up with his teammate Robert Presley, who's in a second position, but he was not able to clear Terry Cook. And now the outside line is moving on by. That's what we talked about, the decisions you have to make. Do I want to try to pass now? Which line do I stay in? And you make that hundreds of times during this race.
2 or 3 trucks could change positions and go to the bottom, and then the bottom line would be the one to go. So seems like I lost the 500 a couple of times by figuring out a way to get in the wrong line.
It's like on the interstate, how you get in the wrong line on the interstate. I do it all the time.
Traffic jam, whatever.
Those are the voices of our 2 expert analysts, Phil Parsons, Winston Cup and Busch Series veteran, and Mike Skinner, the 1995 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series champion, and also 97 Winston Cup Rookie of the Year.
New leader, Robert Presley, was able to get by Jason Leffler. If I was those 2 guys right now, I would want to stay in line and see if we could drive away from this big pack and just ride a while. But I'm not sure even if they stay in line that they can keep the pack from catching them. Can they, Mike?
I don't think so. I think if they stay 3 abreast behind them, they can get away a little bit. But once they line up and settle down up there, they'll run them back down. I wonder about Hornaday's truck a little bit. He's the restart king. Seems like he can keep up there for 2 or 3 laps, then he drops back. I wonder if that machine's handling quite up to par.
See Ted Musgrave, the black truck, about 4th in line on the outside. That's the first time that we've seen him in the lead pack since the start of the race. So undoubtedly they're making some changes to that truck and making it better and better for Ted Musgrave.
And if you just joined our coverage, Musgrave was the pole sitter and then slid back to about 18th spot. And our update from the pits was the thing was very, very loose from his crew chief, Gene Meade. How about recalling last year's race? The pole sitter was Joe Rudman, who qualified over 186 miles an hour. Rudman was also the winner. There were 8 caution flags for 29 laps. 28 lead changes among 12 different drivers, and right now we've had 13 lead changes among 9 drivers, so we could be at a record pace here to break the all-time record was set here 2 years ago for 31 lead changes. And the 39 going behind the wall. Amy, their day done?
It sure is, Jerry. Disappointed for Steve Portengay, the Roto-Rooter team. He blew up. They saw some smoke come out of the pipe, went under the hood, and indeed, his day is done. Disappointing for Steve Portengay.
Boy, indeed, Steve, having Roto-Rooter coming on board, the largest provider of plumbing and drain cleaning services. They're coming on board full-time this year, and of course, next year they have a big anniversary coming up, but he's going to run full-time, but what a tough way to begin the year.
Great to have Steve in the series. He's a great guy. They really try hard, and he'll be back strong with their own.
These guys have lined up behind these 2 leaders now. We'll see how long it takes them to catch them. I don't believe it'll take too awful long. If they stay in line, if they start getting 2 and 3 abreast again, these guys will just keep on creeping away.
Well, the front 2 are Dodges. Then comes Terry Cook, and people were saying that pulling a hose off would really affect the Fords the most, but Terry Cook obviously had a strong mount to begin with because he has been impressive in the Power Stroke diesel Ford with that Ernie Elliott motor. Well, let's check in the pits with Amy, who's caught up with Steve Fortin-Jay.
I sure have, Jerry. Disappointing, Steve, but nevertheless, you started your first Daytona truck race here, and overall, what did you think of the truck race at Daytona so far?
I wish we came here 4 or 5 more times a year. That was a lot of fun out there. I was real nervous before the race, but I had one great Roto-Rooter Chevrolet today. I mean, that thing was nice and stable. Jerry Fitz and the whole crew worked real hard. Fortunately, we had a little bit of motor trouble there that's been biting us. The end of last year, we had a little bit of motor trouble, and this year we have. So starting the season off isn't how we wanted to, but Roto-Rooter is going to be strong all year, and we're looking forward to going to Darlington.
And I like that all-year part, you guys. It'll be fun having Steve on the Truck Series with us this year.
Exactly, Amy, a 2-time Southwest Tour champion, ran full-time in 1995, had a 5th-place finish at Odessa, Missouri. Steve, a great addition to this tour. Bright Florida sun and NASCAR fans having a good time. Back with more in just a moment. Gorgeous day for racing back here in Daytona. Let's bring up to speed on what has happened thus far. The green flags on 36 trucks roll at it to open up the 2002 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series season. Musgrave and Hornaday, 2 veterans, leading them down to start this race. Action happened in a hurry. Lap 14, the 90 truck gets tagged, and Lance Norris spins around. How about a similar fate on lap 22 for veteran Tim Fido up in the Busch Series ranks, driving for Jack Roush in the 99. Then on pit road, this contact. Young John Wood into the side of Ron Hornaday, the 2-time series champion. Then on lap 34, Dennis Setzer has a problem. His Chevy comes to a halt in the back straightaway, and that's the major action thus far. 3 caution flags here in the first handful of laps. And just a moment ago, some frightening moments up in the turn.
Watch it. We got 3 wide there. Slow truck. Watch. See the 75 truck of David Starr get sideways there, but in between 2 trucks. Did a great job of driving. Kept it straight. Never got out of the throttle in the way he went.
The action continues fast and furious here at Daytona. We are just past the halfway point. Back with more in just a moment.